A hearty welcome to the 12 tribes scattered abroad and to those grafted in. This is the Israelite in America impromptu video on my phone, but it needs to be said. Hey, subscribe. I'm finding out information and bringing it to you guys. Subscribe to the channel and share this video with a friend who's like, no, America isn't racist. It's not racist. No, it's not racist. Listen, let's get into the story. New Jersey father agrees to plea deal after fatally punching white man who repeatedly called his children the N-word. Judge says he should have called the police instead. My feelings on this case are going to be known immediately. Listen to me. If you don't think that it is heating up in the land of our captivity, if you do not understand what is going on, if you don't understand how affliction and persecution against the so-called Negro, how, if you don't understand how that is mounting, if you can't see that, if you don't see what is going on, what the Most High is bringing to our attention, I don't know what to tell you at this point. A man's racial slur and aggressive actions prompted a single deadly punch, which many consider self-defense. It was self-defense. It was self-defense. But Anthony Collins pleaded guilty to manslaughter in June and will now spend 3 years behind bars in a New Jersey state prison. He is required to serve almost 31 months of the sentence before he is eligible for parole under the terms of the No Early Release Act. The fatal confrontation took place on the afternoon of September 18th, 2023 in Seaside Heights, a tiny 16 by 4 block beach community on the Jersey Shore. All right, and you already know by this, right, that it's a seaside community in New Jersey. This is the population in this area is white, overwhelmingly white. You can look it up. I don't need to look it up. I know that this area is an overwhelmingly white area. Okay. And this incident happened last year, right? Last year. And this man, I'm just spoiler alert. This man has been sitting behind bars, pretty much since then. He's been sitting behind bars. And some of you are wondering, well, what do you mean? It sounds like he fatal. He punched someone and they're no longer with us. They were deleted. Listen to the story. There's the man's picture right there. How they always have. They don't show the picture of him, I don't know, water skiing or at a graduation ceremony or something like they do with a lot of white criminals, right? They have him. Look at that. Look how they have him. Oh, the mugshot. Okay, that ads. Can't do anything about those ads. Let me scroll down. Okay, Collins, 41, and his wife were leaving Babe's Corner Store on Sumner Avenue when Robert May, 70, approached them on his bicycle. May, who also went by Frog, had repeatedly harassed Collins and his children, addressing them with racial slurs for months, said defense attorney Terrence Turnback. Okay, so months this is going on. Months this black family is minding their own business, and this racist white man is harassing them, calling them slurs for months. Okay, so it's not something that just it happened a one-off, right? This is ongoing harassment. On that afternoon, right, the afternoon in question here, May rode directly into Collins' wife after they exited the store, assaulting her with his bike. Collins told Superior Court Judge Guy P. Ryan during his plea. So this racist dirtbag, after harassing him for months, and the black man was as so many of us do, okay, so I gotta hold my head down. I gotta keep my head down and keep my fists clenched, because if I retaliate, if I try to defend myself in this country, I will be the bad guy. It will go wrong for me, not the person who is harassing me, not the person who is profiling me, not the person who is committing criminal actions against me. It'll go bad for me. Okay, so he bore it. This guy messing with his children, cursing out his children. He bore it. And then came the moment when this guy ran his bike into the black man's wife, right? On purpose. So assault. May then turned to Collins, right? The white guy then turned to Collins and called him N-word, right? which drew a single punch to his face that brought him immediately to the ground. So just like that, he hits his wife, inward, bam. That was it. The straw that broke the camel's back. You assault someone's wife, you assault someone's husband, you assault anybody. It doesn't have to be married, but especially somebody's spouse, bro. It's on. It's on. All right, which drew a single punch to his face. So he punches him. One punch, right? May's fall and the punch knocked him unconscious. So he, right? Finally got that work. Finally got that. Okay, you know what? Bam! Unconscious on the ground. His actions finally had consequences, right? Because you see, he was pushing. He was pushing. He was pushing. Finally, the black man retaliates. And that's how a lot of them are. That's how a lot of these racists are. They'll mess with you, but when you retaliate, oh my goodness. All right, okay. May's fall and the punch knocked him unconscious, and he was later found by first responders lying on the cement with blood coming from his mouth and head. Listen to this now. After May eventually came to, he was treated at the scene, but refused additional medical assistance and went home, per a press release issued by the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office. So he was treated, right? But then he's like, no, I'm fine. Leave me alone. I'm going home. That blinking N-word hit me. I'm going home, though. Well, sir, you don't want any more treatment? No, I don't want any more treatment. I'm fine. Get off me. Oh, okay, sir. Okay. Right? He refuses treatment. Full grown man. He refuses treatment, goes home. The police then received a tip that he was acting erratically after the fall. Who tipped them off? Who called the police and was like, actually, almost fell into that. Actually, it'd be more like, hey, Frog, he's not acting right. Yes, police. Frog's not acting right. I know he was just a victim of violence. You might want to go and check on him. He's not acting right. He's acting erratically. Please do something. Who called the police? Who tipped them? Anyway, the police then received a tip that he was acting erratically after the fall, and he was transported to the hospital and eventually succumbed to his injuries on October 1st. So how many days? What was it? September 28th, I think. I'm pretty sure it was September 28th. So October 1st, what is that? 4 days? 3 days? How many days are in September? So it's like 3 to 4 days, I guess. And he succumbs to his injuries. Now, why would he have refused treatment? Don't you think he might have survived if he hadn't been such a stuck-up piece of garbage? That I don't want no treatment for me. I'm going home. But he refused treatment, and now he paid the price. But anyway, I don't want this video to be too long. All right, so okay, an autopsy determined the cause of death to be blunt force trauma, and the manner of death was homicide. Really, homicide? How do they get off homicide? Witnesses identified Collins to the police, and an arrest warrant was issued on October 1st. So where were these witnesses during all this racial harassment? This is what I'm talking about. People don't understand that these racists, first off, there are so many white racists, right? Or anti-black racists out there. People do not understand, well, just the average Joe Schmo who is not particularly racist, right? Does not understand how these people operate. Does not understand how these people stick together, right? How these people, where were these people? Where were these witnesses when this man was publicly racially harassing these people? Where were these witnesses then? How come nobody provided any tips to the police then, huh? But as soon as the black man defends himself, suddenly you got all these worms out the woodwork. Yeah, it was him, officer. It was the big black man over there. Collins' name was added to the powerful National Crime Information Center, NCIC, database, reaching over 90,000 criminal justice and law enforcement agencies nationwide. So guess what? Guess what this means? So much to unpack here. So much to unpack. Guess what this means? This black man just became another statistic for the crime that conservatives love to talk about. Oh, well, black people commit 90% of the violent crimes, 90% of the homicides. Look at the black people committing all the crimes. This man just was added to another statistic. For what? For what? For defending himself. For defending himself. But context doesn't matter. The U.S. Marshal Service had also been pulled into the investigation, local news outlet Asbury Park Press reported. Within less than 2 weeks, Collins surrendered himself to police, and he was held in county jail until entering into the plea agreement in June 2024. So, didn't make bail. Like I said, he was sitting up in there since last year, sitting up in jail behind bars for defending not even himself, really, defending his wife. Because the man assaulted the dirtbag who was deleted, who served him right. Served him right that he was deleted. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Served this scumbag right that he was one-punched man out of existence. Yes. Yes. You assault someone, you repeatedly harass someone for weeks, and then you assault them or their wives or their kids. Once you touch someone, once you lay hands on someone, they retaliate, and whatever happens, that's on you. Don't assault people. I'm getting off track. Anyways, this man has been sitting behind bars for what would it be? It'd be not quite a year, but it's like, what, 7 months? 7 months or 6 months, something like that. This man has been sitting behind bars. During Collins' detention hearing in October, Turnback argued that the aggressive racism he encountered justified self-defense. Yes, it did. He was dealing with an individual he was well aware of from the standpoint that he had called his children N-word kid over 11 to 12 occasions, he said, adding, their alleged victim was looking for my client, assaulted his wife, and called him a name that's reprehensible. Yes. Guess what? Guess what comes next? Guess what comes next? All you people that say, no, there's no racism. Oh, the justice system is, it has its mistakes, but it's fairly balanced. All the you people that say, well, the North is better than the South. I mean, this stuff doesn't happen in the North. It's really the South that, stuff like this happens. All of you, pay attention. Judge Ryan, right? This is the judge presiding over the thing, acknowledged the racism. It's like, okay, yes. But pointed out the age difference between the two men and said the correct action would have been to report the incident to the police. Well, Mr. Collins, I recognize that there is racism, right? Racial harassment. I recognize that. But considering that this was an older gentleman, Mr. Collins, that this was an older gentleman, the correct action would have been to contact law enforcement, so that they could have come and finished you off themselves. I mean, helped you, not racially profiled you at all, not said, well, Mr. Collins, you've got no proof. How do we know this man was racially harassing you? Nothing like that, just so that the police would have come and everything would have been all right. They would have sorted it out. They wouldn't have agreed with this fine older gentleman like I am, say, well, he's an older gentleman. They wouldn't have done that. They would have come and said everything right in this white community, this community that's like 80% white. Don't you worry. That's what you should have done. You should have called the cops. They wouldn't have shot you in the face. They wouldn't have Sonia Macy'd you. They wouldn't have Roger Fortsoned you. No, sir. In a statement on June 11th, prosecutor Bradley D. Billheimer said the plea deal was a recommended sentence that is below the normal sentencing range for manslaughter. The victim's family recognizes and understands those issues and is in support of this resolution. I commend them for their compassionate and forgiving nature. Collins, who has already spent 8 months in county jail, 8 months, didn't make bail, right? Not like these white people that go into jail and they're out like that night, right? Didn't make bail. Collins, who has already spent 8 months in county jail, seemingly wants to get this over with as soon as possible so he can return to his everyday life. Of course, because what's he going to do? They charge him with manslaughter. The man clearly was defending himself, his wife, his family, and this is what happens. I'm not going to read anymore, right? I will link the story below. You guys can check this out. This is on Atlanta, blackstar.com. I'll link the story here as I'm reading it. You can look for yourself. But this is what happens. If you guys don't realize, if you guys don't see what's happening right now in the lands of our captivity, if you do not understand and don't see how this persecution against us is ramping up, you are blind. Wake up. Share this video. Share this video with someone, with your family, right? Even if your family is already aware of, racism and all that stuff and how the courts have been against us. Share this with them anyways, right? Share this with them. Share this with a friend, or a friend being a loose term in this sense. Share this with someone some non-black person who doesn't believe systemic racism in this country is real. Or share this with some Sambo who you're trying to convince that racism is real in this country. But actually, don't waste your time with the Sambos, because the Sambos are still going to say, well, he shouldn't have punched him. That was an old man. He shouldn't have punched him. It's just a word. I mean, the man shouldn't have assaulted him with the bike, but it's just a word. That don't mean you should kill him, right? And to all the all the racist white people that would say that, well, I'm not saying that he should have hit him with the bike, but to kill him, you shouldn't have done that. When these same white people that would say that, if it was a cop, if someone ran their bicycle into a cop and the cop shot them to death, and they would be like, well, why'd you run your bike into the police? The police didn't know what you were doing. Just to all you white people that would say that, all you other people that would say that, just get off this video. Get off my page. Get off my channel. Oh, this is the Israelite in America. That's it. That's it. Bye-bye.